Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. Everybody guys, week 5 of the NPA, the Minnesota Vikavolts are taking on Joedor and the Seattle Seakings in our week 5 matchup. This is looking to be pretty epic as I believe Joedor is now 3-1. We are sitting at 2-2, climbing above the 500 mark. Hopefully after this match is our objective here. We got question of the day today is what Pokemon do you really want to get a Mega Evolution in the next Pokemon game? Whatever that may be, let me know what Pokemon you think is super duper deserving of a Mega Evolution. I'm still Team Flygon over here. I would love to see Mega Butterfree as well. Brought that up because he's got Mega Sableye and I don't have a Mega, so I figured we'll talk about Mega Evolution. Otherwise, check out Joedors Channel in the description below, of course, and make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's see if we can hit 1,500 likes, guys, for the Minnesota Vikavolts. By the way, just a quick talk about the shirts. Shirts are still being shipped, guys. I apologize for any delays, so if you haven't gotten your shirt yet, don't be afraid, don't be worried. You're still gonna get it. Don't worry about it. Again, apologies for any delays. We had some issues with the distributor, yada yada yada. Don't worry about it. I promise it'll get there ASAP. Otherwise, we got an excellent match going up here. If you want to check out our team builder, pregame press conference in the description as well. Learn about our team, why we're bringing it, and so on and so forth. You can see what I'm predicting Joedor to bring. I'm going to connect to the internet right now, and we're going to battle Joedor, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, guys, we are connected here with Joedor. We're going to find out in just a second what he's going to be bringing, what 6 Pokemon he's going to be rocking for this matchup here. Of course, Minnesota Vikavolts taking on the Seattle Seakings. I think I played Joedor once last season. I'm not sure. I don't actually even remember if we've ever played, but I do know he's played relatively well this season. He's got a pretty solid team. One of the big things I'm scared of is that Drapion. See if he actually even brings it. There's a chance he doesn't, but let's see what he's going to bring. He is going to bring a couple things that I expected. We don't see the Hitmonlee, we see the Metagross. I got everything else right? Okay, perfect, great. I had a feeling that I was gonna be close. That Hitmonlee slot I was a little unsure about, but I think we nailed everything else, right? We got Togekiss, we got Landorus, we got Rotom, we got Mega Sableye, we got Drapion, and we have Metagross. So I got everything except for the Hitmonlee. I knew it would be something like that. So in lead situation here, I have a couple different decisions. Necrozma is a great lead because it could get Stealth Rocks up, which help against the Togekiss, but not a huge priority. I think a great lead here is Vaporeon, surprisingly. Vaporeon matches up relatively well against a lot of his team, so that could be really useful, especially if he tries to lead Lando. If he leads Rotom, that could be problematic, so that's why I'm not quite sure if I want to necessarily lead Vaporeon, but I think Vaporeon is going to be my best lead option here, so that's what I'm going to go with. Because I can spam Scald against things like Sableye, and I can kind of get the momentum with Baton Pass if I want to Baton Pass out, so we do have a couple options there. So I'm going to lead Vaporeon here, and we're going to hope that that works out really well. Like, I had kind of brainstormed this lead ahead of time, and like, I was thinking about Ninetales, because I think Ninetales could be a really good lead here. But the problem with that is if he's like Scarf Lando and decides to go for like an EQ or something, that could be really problematic, and I don't really want to deal with that. So, you know, and then leading Necrozma would have been really great, but then if he leads Sableye, I can't touch it. So, you know, I'm expecting a potential Sableye lead, I'm expecting a potential Landorus lead, and Rotom could also be a lead if he's going to try to Volt Switch out. Those are really the options. You know, if he decides to go with the Rotom, that could be problematic because I have to deal with the Volt Switch, but we'll see what he's going to do here. I do a Protect on Vaporeon as well, which does allow me to scout out what set he's going to go for and stuff like that. So if he leads with like Togekiss, I could do that. I wouldn't do that against Landorus because he might just go for the, obviously the Stealth Rocks, but he's going to just lead Drapion. So that's actually fine with me. He can knock off, but other than that, I mean, I'm pretty safe here to just go for a Scald. And the threat of a burn here is pretty high. He doesn't really have a ton on his team that wants to switch into a Scald and potentially get burned, so that really works in my favor. And Scald does a good amount unless he's offensive, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna fire off a Scald here. We're pretty much max defense, so is there really any reason I wouldn't Scald here? I guess Rotom's the only reason. So I'm just going to Scald because if I burn Rotom, that helps, obviously. It could negate its leftovers. It can help me with longevity. I'm curious whether he has Toxic Spikes in this thing. Obviously, me bringing Dragalge kind of shuts those down, so I'm less concerned about them. But really, the only thing you can do here is go for a knockoff, and that's what we're going to see right now. We're going to see a knockoff. We're going to see it do about what I expected it to do. He gets rid of our leftovers, but I do get a big Scald off here, and a burn would be quite lovely. That does about what I expected it to do, and we get the burn. So a huge deal there. We see the Black Sludge as well. So he's got Black Sludge, and he is burned, which is very nice, sitting at about 50%. So I could do a couple things here. He may try to keep this thing around. His only Cleric option would be that Togekiss, so that's something that to keep in mind. But I think what I want to do here is, now that we kind of know what this thing is doing, I kind of want to Baton Pass out of here. By Baton Passing, I can gain a ton of momentum, and I can save my Vaporeon for later to take hits from something else, or I could just continue to fire off, you know, Scalds. We can also go for like a Wish, potentially predicting a switch here. I'm just not quite sure what he's gonna do with this thing. Like if he switches it out, it'd be into Rotom. So like me baton passing could be really clutch because I could just go straight into Shaman, and like Vaporeon's gonna take the hit anyway. So I think the baton pass is the best play here. Now again, there is a chance that he, you know, he decides to just sack this thing off. But I think going for the baton pass into Shaman is gonna potentially grant me a lot of momentum. I just don't want to give him that free switch into Rotom right now. And if he like were to do something like, you know, go for, like I don't think he'd double knock off. So like Vaporeon's slower anyway, so I'm gonna get the baton pass off afterwards. So I'm gonna go for the baton pass. I actually feel pretty confident in that move. He's gonna switch out here, most likely into Rotom. He's gonna go into OxyClean, so he goes into Rotom. So the baton pass is gonna be great for us because it's gonna give us a ton of momentum here on this turn. This is gonna give me an opportunity to go straight out right into a couple of different things. I can go into my Necrozma now and get up Stealth Rocks, which could be really useful, and I'm debating. Or I can go into Meadow here, and I can go for a Z Bloom Doom and just hit something incredibly hard, or just go for the Bloom Doom in general, or I'm sorry, just the Seed Flare in general and really put some pressure on him. So I'm gonna go into Meadow right away, I think, and just put on that grass type pressure here, and we're just gonna see how much we can do. His best switch into this thing would probably be the Metagross, you know, I mean, I guess he can go into Togekiss too, but I'm really not too concerned because, you know, a Seed Flare, potential drop on him could be really useful. I could also go for a Leech Seed here, predicting a switch. Potentially seeding something and wearing it down. That's definitely an option. He could also try to sack off his Drapion at this point in time. So there's a couple different scenarios here. I think I want to just go for the Seed Flare though, because I think the Seed Flare is going to do just a tremendous amount. Let me actually just calc what it does to his, let me just calc what it does to his Togekiss. Because if it doesn't do a ton of Togekiss, maybe I should Leech Seed. Yeah, Seed Flare is going to do like, not a whole lot, like 20%. But it would one-shot the Rotom. So I'm actually leaning towards the Leech Seed here, and that also will tell him that I'm not, I'm gonna go for the Leech Seed. I actually feel good in this move. I'll find out if he's Scarfed right now, because if he's Scarfed, he'll be faster than me. He's gonna switch, so we know he's not Scarfed. Into Taichi. What is that? That is his Togekiss. So I'm gonna get a Leech Seed off here, which is really nice. And we actually connect it, which is good. So that's better than Seed Flare, obviously. You know, to me, that just feels like a better decision than Seed Flare because now I'm like forcing him to have to switch out here at some point. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go straight into my Dragalge. I think that's my best play. Dragalge puts on a lot of pressure with me going for like poison type moves. And I also have like Draco Meteor and stuff like that, so we have a couple options there. And Dragalge is like one of my main responses to this Togekiss. So I'm gonna go for Jirachi here because I think it's one of my most expendable Pokemon. Well, not expendable, but one of my better switch-ins to this thing. And with Black Sludge and Leech Seed, I should be able to get some good amount of health back and hopefully get some intel on what kind of Togekiss he's running. But these first few turns have been really productive for us. We weakened the Drapion quite a bit. We burned it. It's sitting at about 50% health. We found out the Rotom's not Scarfed. I think that this Togekiss could be Scarfed though. That's something that we have to really keep in mind here. And we do switch out, so we'll find out if like he switches here, we'll know. But I have a feeling he's gonna be Scarfed. So let's find out how much this Air Slash does. I'm assuming is what he's gonna do. He actually has the Heal Bell, so we know he's not Scarfed now. We know he's got a more kind of bulkier type of set. Now here's an interesting situation here. I can like do a couple different things. Like his switch in right now would definitely be Metagross. Is definitely his switch in. But like, I don't really think it wants to take like, I don't think it wants to take like me going for a big like Draco Meteor or, you know, Dragon Pulse or any of that stuff. I mean, Draco Meteor doesn't do a ton unless he's Assault Vest. If he's not Assault Vest, we do like 45%. So I think I'm just gonna click Draco Meteor here. I don't anticipate him staying in, so I wanna click Draco and just see what we hit. And I think he's gonna go into Metagross, but I have a very easy switch into Metagross and Necrozma, so I'm okay with that. And if we can get like 40% off that Metagross, that could be really clutch. Trying to weaken that thing down, give something else an opportunity to potentially beat it, I guess. But that was very interesting to see that he had the Heal Bell. Now we know he's not Scarf, so that makes me want to think that his Lando is likely to be a Scarfer. He's going to switch out. Will it be into that Metagross? He's going to OxyClean, so this thing is going to take a very big Draco Meteor here. I don't know how much this is going to do, but it's going to do a lot if it hits. It does connect. I'm curious to see how much this does. So we drop that big Draco onto this Rotom, which I'm very surprised that he went into Rotom here, I'm going to be honest. And it's going to almost pick up the KO. We get a crit there. It definitely mattered, obviously, and he shows the lefties on his Rotom. So I'm surprised that he actually decided to do that. So here's the thing, I think the Volt Switch is coming. I'm pretty sure the Volt Switch is coming. I'm a little in a tricky situation because I don't want to just allow him to Volt Switch out into something. So I'm thinking I want to go into Meadow here, because if I go into Meadow, Well, he's gonna Volt Switch into Togetic, and then we're in a similar situation. Like, the thing is, because I'm -2, I'm a little nervous to click Draco again, but I can Sludge Bomb too. I don't think he's going into Togetic here. I think a Dragon Pulse is a decent play, because I kind of hit everything. I mean, I could Draco again too, I guess. Let's just click Draco Meteor again. I don't think he has anything that's gonna like be able to set up and sweep me at this point in time. This early in the game. I don't want to allow that to happen. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna Dragon Pulse. I'm not gonna Draco, because being at -4 is a big difference. He's gonna Pain Split, actually. So that definitely hurts. He's gonna get a lot of health back here, and we're gonna lose a lot of health. That was not something I really anticipated, to be honest. The Pain Split. I don't know why. Like, I know that that's a thing that Rotom carries, but for some reason I just really didn't think of it. But again, this Rotom can't really do a ton to us, so I'm a little less concerned. Like, the problem is because I like lost so much health there. So Draco could actually do enough. Like, that Dragon Pulse didn't look like it was gonna be enough. I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb this time, I think, because the 30% poison chance could be really clutch. And if we get it, that could be really good. If he wants to stay in, that's fine. If he wants to Volt Switch out, like, that's also fine. Like, his best switch in would probably be the Metagross, but again, I have a very, very good Metagross switch in, you know, and unless he's got EQ, it's not gonna really do a ton. So we'll go for the Sludge Bomb here, see what he wants to do. But it's very interesting that we saw, you know, Heal Bell on the Togekiss. That actually is kind of a good thing, because that means once I get Infernape in, we can really start to put some work in. And I actually think at this range, Rotom dodged the 2 Flare Blitzes too, and he has no Flare Blitz switch-ins. I mean, even Landorus isn't exactly a switch-in, so he's gonna switch this time, no Volt Switch. He goes into Machine King, which is gonna be that Metagross. So he makes a good play there. I mispredict, go for the Sludge Bomb, that's fine. This will give us some Black Sludge recovery though. And now I'm gonna go into my dedicated kind of Metagross response, which is gonna be my Necrozma. I don't really think there's any reason to go into anything else here. I think Necrozma is a great play. It would allow me to get up my Stealth Rocks, and potentially force that Togetic to defog. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. I'm definitely leaning towards that. I'm gonna go into Eclipse here. This is the Pokemon that's meant to come in on this thing. So I like the name Machine King though, nice little Yu-Gi-Oh reference. But Dragalge definitely put in some work there, getting that Rotom to about 50%. And we know that Drapion's about 50%. The Togekiss is slightly worn down. But let's see what he's gonna do here. You know, he could like go for like an Agility or something, but I'm assuming he stays in. He's gonna just go for the Meteor Mash. See how much this does. Is this banded? That looks like banded damage to me, Cotton. So we see the Meteor Mash. And I'm gonna calc it, but I'm like pretty sure that's banded damage. Which is fine by me. Yep, that's Choice Band. Okay. So he can try to fire off more banded things here. I can get my Stealth Rocks up. This is probably the opportunity to get my rocks up. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for my rocks. Now, I may end up trading Eclipse here. He's gonna switch, so that's fine. I get my rocks up. He's gonna go into Drapion. No, Black Magic. That's the Sableye. Okay, so Sableye comes in. Now, this is one of the things that I obviously was very concerned about, is dealing with this Sableye. Because if he starts Calm Minding up on us, that could be problematic. I think I'm just gonna go straight into Emma Frost here, though, because I can beat his Calm Minds with Nasty Plots, even though the Metagross is very scary. Like, I know it's Choice Banded now, so that's fine. Because I have Vaporeon and stuff. Vaporeon can switch into it. So I'm going to just go straight into my Ninetales here. Like, I don't really want to overthink this. I just kind of want to go straight into Ninetales. And he's at like 88% on his Metagross. So he's obviously going to Mega Evolve here if he stays in, which I'm sure he will. We might see a knockoff. We might see a Calm Mind. There's a couple different scenarios he could go for here. But we're going to get our Hail up. We've got 5 turns of Hail. Aurora Veil would be very nice here. He's going to Mega Evolve. So I don't think we'll see a Will-O-Wisp. If he wants to Will-O-Wisp me, that's totally fine. I think we're going to see a knockoff or a Calm Mind there. He's going to go for the Calm Mind. Okay, so he's Calm Mind Sableye, which is very scary. Very, very scary. And now I have to decide kind of how I want to approach this, because we're going to have kind of a tough decision to make here. Like, after a Calm Mind, like, let's assume he's got Shadow Ball. So I gotta run some serious calcs here, because I was concerned about this happening. So he's at +1, so Shadow Ball is like 40% to me. So I'm gonna set up an Aurora Veil, I think. And then we're gonna set up a Nasty Plot, and we're gonna start Moonblasting this thing. Or do I just wanna set up the Nasty Plot now? I'm gonna go for the Aurora Veil, because I think that having the Aurora Veil up is gonna be important to cut his damage in half. We get 8 turns of it, and that's gonna help out my matchup against this Sableye here in the meantime. He goes for the Coal Mine again. So he's going for it right now. He's gonna just set up Coal Mines on us. Now this is why the Nasty Plot is so useful, because he's gonna set up Coal Mines, but I can outboost his Coal Mines with my Nasty Plots, and that's gonna give me a better opportunity to try to Moonblast him to oblivion here. So I'm gonna go for the Nasty Plot now. Don't even need to think about it. It's my play 1,000,000%. I'm sure he's gonna Coal Mine again. And after 2 Nasty Plots, I'll like beat him. So he's gonna Coal Mine again. So he goes to +3 here. And now my Moonblast does like 50% to him. But I think we might force him out now because of that. And he really doesn't do much to us because we have the Auroraville up. So I mean, I can sit here all day. The reason why I'm gonna Moonblast though right now is because if that, if he goes into that Metagross, I wanna be able to hit it. So I think Moonblast is the right play here. So I'm gonna go for the Moonblast. He's gonna stay in, so we're gonna get a big Moonblast off here. Curious to see how much this does, whether he's like a fully physically defensive. That does a decent amount. We get a special attack drop, which is nice. And he goes for the Shadow Ball this turn, so that's fine with me. I'm totally cool with that, because that's gonna really do nothing to us. After the special attack drop, the hail damage is very nice, and we're sitting at +2 right now, so another Moonblast looks like it will kill. There's no point in me setting up again, because if that Metagross comes in to take the Moonblast here, I would rather be, you know, I'd rather just hit it really hard and then be able to switch out on the Bullet Punch. Because I'd imagine that a +2, even to a Choice Band and Metagross, is still gonna hurt. Like, I'm pretty sure this is still gonna hurt. Yeah, I mean, it still does like 50% almost. So, having Nasty Plot on Ninetales was a really tough, like a really good decision in prep. I had a feeling that he was gonna bring Calm Mind Sableye, and for good reason. This thing is really good. Like, Calm Mind Sableye is just insane. So, he has no switch-ins now to Moonblast, his best being Metagross. But of course, Moonblast has, like I said, 50%. He either has to choose to sack off Sableye right now or go into Metagross and have it just take a ton of damage. He's gonna let it go down. I am totally fine with that. Ninetales, I'm assuming, yeah. Ninetales kills Sableye with Moonblast. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that attempt for a revenge kill here. If he goes into Lando, we know he's Scarfed, but here comes Machine King, which is his attempt at a revenge kill. And that's fine with me. He's gonna take a little bit of Stealth Rocks damage, which I'm very glad we were able to set up. My hail is gone, but I still have 4 turns of Auroraville, which is great. So this gives me a great opportunity to go into my my Vaporeon, or it gives me an opportunity to go into Eclipse here, potentially get some damage off again. And then I can Earthquake actually, and he's probably not gonna go into his Togekiss or Togetic. Togekiss, I call it the wrong thing every time. But it is in my best interest to switch out here, because I think losing Ninetales at this point in the match is stupid. Ninetales outspeeds everything on his team and can set up an Auroraville on a lot of different things. And it can still Blizzard into the Togekiss. And if he's not Scarf Lando, then I can Blizzard that too, which I'm pretty sure he is Scarf Lando. So I think we're gonna see a Bullet Punch here, or a Meteor Mash, but either way, I'm confident in Eclipse's ability to take the hit. He does go for the Meteor Mash, he does connect. He might have a situation here, 129. Oh, we have the Auroraville up, so we are taking that all day, baby. And he's gonna take some more Rocky Helmet damage here. So, you know, I could go for the Moonlight to try to preserve ourselves, give us a little bit more longevity, which I think what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for the Moonlight here just to ensure that I can live more hits, and if he wants to go to Drapion, I have a surprise Earthquake for him coming out, which I think is what he's gonna do right now, is head into that Drapion. Here comes Carl Rasan, which is the Landorus actually. That's fine with me. I'm not sure if he's gonna try to set up on me right now, but I do have the Psyshock for this thing to try to avoid that, and I'm glad I didn't go for the other move. But let's see here. I know I could take any hit from this thing. How much does my Psyshock do? Looks like it does about 30%. And I can definitely take an Earthquake. So I think I'm just gonna go for the Psyshock and just try to get as much damage off as I can. And if he wants to switch out, that's totally fine. He might go for a U-turn though. And we might be able to find out if he's Scarfed, but I'm pretty sure he is Scarfed. Just based on the composition of his team, it makes a lot of sense to me that he would bring Scarf Landorus. His team is pretty slow. Unless his Scarf Drapion, it was Black Sludge Drapion, so he's definitely not. I think he's Scarf Landorus. I actually feel pretty confident in that. So if he's Scarfed, then I think he just goes for the U-turn. At which point I get a Psyshock off on something, so, unless he goes into Drapion. Which that's fine with me too, because then I can Earthquake it. So he goes for the Rock Polish, so he's Rock Polish Landorus, okay. So he is trying to set up on us. I get a Psyshock off here. This should do a decent chunk. Yeah, it did a good amount. I think I just have to Side Shock again because I can't allow him to continue to set up on us. So I'm gonna Side Shock again and just try to do as much damage to him as I can. He's gonna SD, so he is SD RP Lando here, which is very scary. Could totally sweep our team. The good thing I have going for me is I do have priority choice banded Mach Punch, which will definitely pick up the kill here at this point in time. He could Earthquake here and kill me. I don't have a switch in. I could sack something else off if I feel that Eclipse is worth it, because I think at this point in time, Rafiki kills him, so I actually think I'm going to sack something off here. Let's take a look. Like, he's offensive landers. I think he's going to probably burn a Z move right now, if I had to guess. Mach Punch will definitely kill if you factor out the Intimidate. At this range of health, he's definitely dying to a Mach Punch. So we have that going for us. So what do I think, what is my least useful member of my team at this point in time? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Sableye is gone. I'm thinking the least useful member of the team at this point in time is gonna be probably Vaporeon. The reason I'm saying that is I do think Eclipse still has some usefulness. I have 50 seconds left. I think Eclipse has some usefulness because it straight up shuts down any variant. Yeah, at +2, he doesn't even kill unless he goes for a Z move here. Do I think he's gonna Z move? I think I'm gonna go into Vaporeon here. I think this is the right play. I think Vaporeon is the least useful member of my team at this point in time. And once this thing is gone, I think we're gonna be in decent shape. And I know I can revenge kill it with Infernape. So I'm gonna go into Oxygen here. And if he burns a Z move, that's fine. We are gonna see the Z move. That's what I figured we would see. Okay, great. So he is gonna pick up the kill. That's gonna be, I don't know what that was. I don't know. Oh, is that Fly? Z Fly? Is that the Z Fly move? Which is very interesting because I wonder if Rocky Helmet would have killed, but he's got Supersonic Sky Strike. So he's Z Bounce, probably EQ. And I'm sure this is gonna easily kill Vaporeon. So Landorus kills Vaporeon with Supersonic Sky Strike. Okay, great. Now we have the easy revenge kill in going into Rafiki. I'm actually gonna give it a second though. I'm not gonna pick my move right away. You know, I wanna make sure that he stays in with this thing. I guess it doesn't matter. You know what? We have the Mach Punch. We know Choice Band and Mach Punch will do enough, even though it's resisted. We are Choice Banded, so we have that going for us. And I mean, there's no reason for him to save this thing at this point in time, so we're gonna very carefully click Mach Punch here, and that should be able to pick up the kill. And if he wants to save this thing, like, that's fine, because Stealth Rock's damage is gonna wear him down. He's really at the point where, you know, he's probably gonna die to hail and stuff like that, but this Mach Punch should have no problem picking up the kill, and it does, so that's good. Infernape kills Landorus with Mach Punch. So I feel like the two big setup sweepers that he had on his team are gone now, and that makes me feel so much better because we know his Togekiss is most likely some sort of a hybrid, like bulky type of set, and he has no idea I'm banded at this point either. So here comes Taichi, which is gonna be that Togekiss, and this just gives me an opportunity to go straight into, the Stealth Rocks are just so beautiful, aren't they? This gives me an opportunity to go into Emma Frost if I wanted to. The other option would be going into Adept, which is really my main switch into this thing. So we're gonna go right into Adept here. We're gonna have to make a tough prediction though. Coming up here, he may go for a defog. I don't anticipate that, but we're gonna go right into Adept because I know I can take some T-Waves. He's got the Roost, so we see the Heal Bell, we see the Roost. So that Stealth Rock though just forced him to Roost, which is why Stealth Rocks are so important in this match, and that's why I really wanted to get them up as soon as possible. So now we have to make a tough decision. Do I Sludge Bomb, think he's gonna stay in? Do I go for the Draco Meteor and just try to hit something else? I think I'm gonna Sludge Bomb though. His only real good switch into the Sludge Bomb would be the Metagross. Last time I went for the Dragon type move, I'm going for the Sludge Bomb this time. If he goes into Metagross, he goes into Metagross. He goes for the Nasty Plot. Okay, so I stand corrected. He's Nasty Plot Air Slash, which is okay because I do have Infernape, which is Band-Aid, which is gonna do a lot, but this Sludge Bomb is gonna hurt, and he's got the Poison Z-Berry, the Kebia Berry, I believe it's called. Still does over half, almost half. Do we get a Poison? No Poison, but as long as the Flinch gods are not against us right now, we should be okay. We should be okay because I am super bulky, and I think he's more of a bulky, like a supporting type set. Let me actually just double check Infernape against Togekiss though to see how much we need to weaken him. Yeah, Flare Blitz does like almost 80%, so I'm just gonna Sludge Bomb again, and he's gonna have to Air Slash Flinch us, and this is 60%. Let's see what happens. Let's see how much that does. It does a lot. He flinches, so you know, I mean, it's more likely to flinch than not. It's annoying. Definitely annoying, but it is what it is. We're gonna go for the Sludge Bomb again. Unless he misses Air Slash, which is a possibility, that could be cool. The good news is I can revenge it though with Infernape, and he's got no switch-ins to a choice band in close combat, or a choice banded Flare Blitz. So Togekiss kills Dragalge with Air Slash. So he brought a lot of setup mons here. My play is 1,000,000% to go to Rafiki though. I'm gonna just double check one thing here, but this thing doesn't have an item anymore. We know we're 100% faster. Flare Blitz is definitely gonna kill him. If he was max, there's a chance he lives, but I don't think he's max. So I'm gonna go to Rafiki here, we're gonna Flare Blitz. If this doesn't kill and he kills us, Ninetales can revenge. So Rotom doesn't wanna take this either. We're just gonna go for the Flare Blitz. 100%, not over predicting, not taking any chances. We're clicking Flare Blitz. If he wants to go into Rotom again, Rotom is taking Flare Blitz damage, it's taking Stealth Rocks damage, it's not gonna like it, but I think this should be able to pick up the kill here. Like I said, unless he's max, he is not max. So we get rid of another big threat. Infernape kills Togekiss with Flare Blitz, which is very nice. And this is looking like it could be Infernape's game here, guys. I don't know how he stops Infernape. I don't. At this point in the match, I don't know how he stops Infernape, guys. You know, he's got the Rotom. I mean, what's Rotom's gonna come in, go for like a Hydro Pump. Shaman just gets to come in and eat that. I mean, here comes OxyClean, yep. And look at, this thing is gonna be really, actually, I might just be able to Flare Blitz this thing right now. Oh, that's so tempting. I don't think I'm gonna do it because it's too risky, but it's super tempting to do because I could actually just pick up the kill. Fully physically defensive Bold Rotom Wash takes like 30%. So we can't Flare Blitz. We can't, as much as I want to. I'm thinking I want to go, this is a tough decision. Eclipse beats 2 of the last 3. I'm gonna go into Shaman. Pretty obvious play, but we're gonna make the play into Shaman here. And this will give me an opportunity to potentially go for a Seed Flare. I'm actually probably gonna Bloom Doom though, so I don't miss. If he goes for the Hydro Pump, that's great. If he goes for the, he's gonna Pain Split. Totally fine by me. He'll get a lot of health back here, but now I get to click Z Bloom Doom and something is gonna hurt. And if it's that Drapion, that's fine. If it's the Metagross, also fine. Whatever it is, it's gonna put it in range, so that way I can knock out whatever he switches in with Earth Power. So I could also Leech Seed. That would be kind of another option, but a little less offensive. So I'm gonna go for the Z Bloom Doom here, and I think that's gonna definitely do a solid chunk to pretty much anything. I think it kills the Drapion on entry, and the Metagross isn't gonna like it. We're gonna click Z Bloom Doom. We're not even gonna over predict. We're in a situation here pretty soon where Infernape comes in and clicks close combat. So this is going very well. Our game plan has been executed very, very well here. Infernape can clean up this match. We still have Ninetales in the back to potentially set up an Aurora Veil if we need it. Don't think we will though. Necrozma hard walls 2 of his last 3. Necrozma beats Drapion and Metagross one-on-one. So really all I need to do is make sure that I can keep Shaman alive. He's staying in. That thing's dead. That thing is dead. I don't know why he stayed in, but that's probably gonna seal the game there. Shaman kills Rotom Wash with Bloom Doom. I mean, even if he's the berry, this thing ain't living, dude. This is gonna hurt. I don't think he would be the Grass Berry. And even if it is, I don't think it lives, dude. This is a Bloom Doom. We're gonna doom the Bloom, baby. Yo, Bloom Doom Shaman, see you later, Rotom. Peace out, Cub Scout. And he's down to his final 2 here, which are gonna be the Drapion and the Metagross, both of which get beat by Necrozma and Infernape clicking Flare Blitz. So we have a couple different options. Here comes Machine King. That means I just switch right into Big Daddy Necrozma. I could also go for an Earth Power here, which is kind of interesting, now that Shaman is just hanging out, but I think just going into Necrozma here makes a lot of sense. I can take the hits, I can Earthquake, make sure I knock this thing out. After Rocky Helmet damage plus Earthquake damage, definitely knocks this thing out. Shouldn't have anything to fear. He might Meteor Mash here. He does go for the Meteor Mash. He's gonna connect, he's gonna do a lot. You know, it does a solid chunk, but it looking like we can live another one here. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna Moonlight up though to take the Meteor Mash and live the hit, and I want to preserve this differential. He's gonna go into Drapion here, and Drapion's actually gonna be in range of after Stealth Rocks, Rocky Helmet, and Earthquake. I'm sorry, after Stealth Rocks and Rocky Helmet damage, if he goes for the knockoff, he's going to be in range here, and Necrozma should be able to pick up these last 2 kills. I'll preserve the differential to take the 4-0, which will help out our differential as we didn't have the best couple matches earlier in the season, and hopefully we can kind of pull back. But if he goes for knockoff, I'll take Rocky Helmet damage here. We do have the Earthquake, specifically for these 2 Pokemon, Drapion and Metagross, which was some good prep there, so I'm pretty proud of that. The Necrozma set was a last-minute set. We're actually going to run Calm Mind, Shadow Ball at Necrozma this week, but then I realized when I sent the team to be bred, wink, that Necrozma doesn't even learn Calm Mind. I learned Shadow Claw instead. So I had to scrap my whole Necrozma idea right before the match, essentially. And I was like, okay, I need to come up with a new Necrozma set. And I decided to go with Relax Nature, so minus speed nature. That way I can run Psyshock and Earthquake, because I knew Earthquake would be really, really crucial against these Pokemon. And then I knew Psyshock would be really useful, you know, against things like Landorus, to potentially wear that down. You know, wear down things like Togekiss and things like Cryogonal and some of the other Pokemon that otherwise would be able to set up on me. So I didn't want to run Mono Attack this week, which is something I've done a lot of weeks prior. But let's see what he's gonna do here. I mean, really all he can do, he could be like SD, but even SD Drapion, like, it can't beat me. A knockoff does like 30% at this point in time. He'll take Rocky Helmet damage, and then the Earthquake will knock him out at after that point, unless he's like max HP, max defense. But after Rocky Helmet damage, I'm pretty sure an Earthquake kills. It does 51 to 60% to offensive Drapion. I just remember that calc because I calced it earlier. But you see, look how little that does. I mean, this is a Drapion, and what we assume to be an offensive Drapion, which is pretty nuts. But the Earthquake is going to connect here, and that is going to kill the Drapion. So Necrozma kills Drapion with EQ. And, you know, we can assume that the Metagross is going to go down after Stealth Rock's damage, after EQ damage. Necrozma should be able to pick up these final 2 kills here and seal the deal for us against Joedor and the Seattle Seakings. So I was pretty nervous going into this match, guys. Joedor has played really well this season, and I've been kind of playing not on my game. Like, I'll just be honest, I haven't really played that well in this league and the GBA, and it's been very frustrating, but I felt really in control of this match. I felt like the prep was there. We made some really good predictions early on, and I stayed aggressive this entire match. I think the prep really was big though. Like, I knew that the Sableye could be Calm Mind, so we were ready with that with Nasty Plot, Ninetales. You know, I got the Baton Pass off early. That was really nice. Getting up Stealth Rocks was really nice too, to force the Roost and the Togekiss. Because think about it, if that Togekiss doesn't Roost there, it totally could have set up 2 Nasty Plots. I guess it wouldn't have really mattered, but because of Infernape, but definitely, you know, could have been pretty tough, and him having so many setup mons to me was just mind-blowing. I mean, he had the Sableye, the Landorus, he gets the attack boost, it's funny, the Togekiss, you know, 3 setup mons right in front of me, and this might actually kill. No, it will, so we're good. Necrozma picking up the final kill here, kills Metagross with EQ, which is very nice, and just a good game to Joedor. But I was just so surprised that he had 3 setup Pokemon. I thought once I got rid of the Dual Dance Landorus and the Sableye, I was like, all right, Togekiss won't be set up, and he goes for Nasty Plot, but we choice banned Infernape, man. Not something I've ever run before. Infernape's a new Pokemon to me. I'm not very familiar with it, but it put in a lot of work this week, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that Joe's team is a little bit slower. I typically have the slow teams, but Joe's team is a little slower than mine. So, you know, while I thought that Landorus would have been, you know, scarfed, he ended up being the Dual Dance set, and pretty cool stuff there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this win. I most certainly did. It's always nice to pick up a W, especially against a great opponent like Joe. So please check out his channel, guys. Show him some love there. Hit that like button down below if you're hyped for the Minnesota Vikavolts picking up a nice little W there, guys. Feels so good. We're 3-2 now, above the what is it called? The Mendoza line. They call it in baseball, right? We're above the 500 line. So now we're Mendoza line. I think it was like 200. I don't know, but I might have made that up. Either way, feeling good. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. That's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I'm the coach of your Minnesota Vikavolts, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.